How's it going, DeFiers? Thanks for joining us again for another round of DeFi Deluxe. Well, what a week, right? It's not every day that you hear the crypto world talking about normie stonks, but that's exactly what's happening on crypto Twitter as a result of the GameStop frenzy. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, as I'm sure you've all been reading the news, but just to give a quick recap, essentially GameStop, AMC, and a few other share prices have been skyrocketing recently due to a collective effort by Reddit Wall Street Bets to take down big hedge funds by beating them at their own game. This effectively created what is known as a short squeeze, which has so far cost hedge funds about $70 billion in losses, and not a small amount of money, which has had them sweating. Of course, us DeFi veterans are no stranger to this kind of volatility. Now, mind you, all of this is just a part of the free market game, so you'd think that the hedge funds would just accept their losses and walk away, right? Wrong, of course, as this turned out to be yet another illustration of what we in DeFi have been saying all along, that the game is rigged. Wall Street gets to change the rules of the game to keep winning, which is what a lot of people suspect happened when Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, and a few others all suspended trading on the assets in question. Unbelievable, and if not straight up illegal, then this was at least a major conflict of interest, as one of Robinhood's major backers was the Citadel hedge fund group. Never more than ever have we needed decentralized finance in the form of permissionless protocols, and retail investors across America and Europe have realized firsthand the need for a censorship-resistant trading app as an alternative to Robinhood. And in the DeFi world, we are already building this. So for this week's episode, I want to focus on two protocols that are doing just that. So if you remember from my December 6th episode, I talked about Mirror Protocol. Mirror is one of the best examples of a direct competitor to Robinhood. This project is taking regular stock pairs, or stonks, and porting them over to Uniswap, everyone's favorite DeFi trading app. No GME or AMC yet, but give it some time, and I bet they'll soon add all the stocks that are currently being shorted. What's also really cool is that Mirror Protocol is already running on a layer 2 chain called Terra. So if you're interested in farming with a small amount of money, you could do so here at terra.mirror.finance to swap without the gas fees. You will have to first get a hold of the US Terra token, but they do have a nice AMM here where you can trade it for any stock. You will first have to get a hold of the US Terra token, but they have a nice AMM here where you can trade it for any stock. Heading back over to the Ethereum side, to purchase the stock, you just click Buy Token, where you have to approve the token and then you can swap it. For ETH, you'll need the ERC20 version of UST, which is wrapped UST. Coincidentally, this is also going to be our opportunity of the week, as the APYs for providing liquidity to these pools are looking very good right now. Netflix, for example, 659% APR, Microsoft 664%. If you look at all of these, they're all over the 100% mark. And it's the same over on the Terra side. They've got the same pairs running on Terra and similar APYs. So it only makes sense, right? If you're going to buy some Netflix stock, why not buy some wrapped Terra as well and then provide 50-50 liquidity to get that juicy APY? So if you want to provide liquidity, first you will go ahead and buy the token that you'd like to provide for on Uniswap. You'll need the UST token as well, of course, and then next you're going to select Provide Liquidity, and that will bring you to Uniswap where you can add the liquidity. Once you have deposited your liquidity to Uniswap, come back here and click on Stake LP to stake your LP tokens and start receiving rewards. One thing to note about providing liquidity for normal stocks is that not only are they less volatile than crypto, but they also stop moving every day at 5 p.m. So the impermanent loss is theoretically going to be a lot lower in these pools. Now, this is not financial advice, and remember, you're still entering smart contract risk here, but it's a good way to get exposure to the price. And also remember that you are only getting exposure to the stock price through an oracle. Therefore, you own a synthetic, but you don't actually own the stock, so you won't receive any shareholder benefits when holding these assets. But unlike Robinhood, Uniswap trades can never be shut down. And looking at Mirror Protocol's CoinGecko page, it looks like the market is really finally starting to realize what this protocol is doing, and it's got a fair amount of growth. It has quadrupled since I last had it on my show. And next, DEUS is another protocol that I mentioned previously on January 7th. This has also been steadily growing as word is starting to spread, and notice that they only have a 13 million market cap, which is much less than Mirror Protocol's 137 million market cap, so this one still has a long way to grow. This project has been coming along very nicely, and I'm a huge fan of one of the devs, Lafa. He's a very smart developer and still has a fairly small following. So DEUS is a newer project and hasn't gotten to the point of where Mirror Protocol is yet, but they do have an AMM so far with a few pairs, but most of their stock pairs are still on the Rinkeby testnet. DEUS Finance just made mainnet trading available for 5 trial stocks, and guess what they are? AMC, GME, Tesla, gold, and silver. Now, if you're interested, I highly recommend taking a look at the DEUS light paper, because part of what they are doing is similar to Mirror Protocol in that they are listing stock pairs, but they also have some other features that set them apart. For one, they have a second token called DEA, which is a complementary token meant to support the DEUS ecosystem. A second thing that sets them apart is that they are creating their own oracles. In fact, Lafa says that the core of the innovations when it comes to DEUS Finance is within the Oracle smart contracts. Lafa has stressed continuously that once their oracle is perfected, they will be able to launch thousands of stock trading pairs all at once. This is a little bit different than Mirror Protocol and other protocols that say use Chainlink as an oracle service, because Chainlink takes time to create each of these oracles. Lafa says that DEUS's goal is to create a customized oracle which is only for stock trading pairs. In fact, check out this chart which shows what sets them apart from some of the other protocols. Apologies if this chart is a little bit blurry, this is how it comes in on Twitter, but essentially this is showing that, for one, liquidity providers don't have to take a trading position on DEUS, whereas they do on Mirror. The prices for the trades are defined by oracles on DEUS and Synlev and Synthetics, but apparently not Mirror. Trades also have 0 or almost 0 slippage on DEUS, but not Mirror. And you'll notice that they have that on Synthetics and Synlev as well, because that is a nice byproduct of Synthetics, is that we don't have to have any slippage on trades. You'll notice that traders can also go long or short on their positions in DEUS and Synlev and not in Mirror, and traders can use leverage, which they cannot apparently in Mirror. Now, this is not an endorsement. I'm not saying that DEUS is better than Mirror. All I'm pointing out is the chart to see the facts. And look at this tweet here. They say that one of the coolest features is that you can use the Uniswap like AMM to long or short a asset, which stands for DEUS asset, of course, a synthetic asset. And you can even trade futures like Coinbase on DEUS, as I showed you in my previous DEUS video. So while I'm excited about Mirror, I'm also very excited about this new DEUS project because it seems like they are doing a ton of stuff. The biggest challenge I think they are going to face is making sure there are no bugs in their customized oracles, as Chainlink notes that those are very hard to create. Free Markets Batman.eth says that similar to the NXM insurance pool, ETH is contributed to DEUS through a bonding curve, which goes into a collateralization pool for the D assets minting instead of insurance. So that's a little bit different than Mirror as well. Either way, I really like what these guys are doing, and it will be very interesting to see if they do indeed become a direct competitor to Robinhood, as well as some of the other protocols such as Chainlink. Well, that's it for this week, everybody. Sorry for only covering 2 protocols, but I really just thought with the news going on, it was necessary. And I wanted to go a little bit deeper into them than I do when I'm trying to cover 4 or 5 protocols in one episode. But I'm always trying to find the best projects and the best yields, so make sure to tune in next week and hit that subscribe button below to not miss any new DeFi news. Remember to only use what you are willing to lose, and I will see you next week, everyone.